Nora and Alec, a couple, decide to spend the night in a strange cabin, but they end up becoming slaves in a society where humans are raised instead of animals on a farm. What might the people on the farm do to them? And will they be able to escape? Welcome to our channel. And today we're discussing the movie, The Farm. Nora and Alec, a couple, are traveling through the countryside when they realize they're on an unfamiliar road. Nora gets upset after realizing they're lost. Instead of continuing, they stop at an abandoned diner. Nora needs to use the restroom, so they decide to check out the area. While looking around, she finds a tent with a purse, some money, and a phone, along with some other belongings. However, before she can investigate further, Nora becomes preoccupied with something else. While taking care of her business, we can see a human skull in the distance. As they drive away, they unknowingly pass by numerous human remains. Nora tells Alec about the abandoned camp she saw, but he's more concerned with the fact that their car is running low on gas. As they continue, they encounter a broken-down vehicle with a woman inside. Alec stops to help her. He takes out his jumper cables and offers assistance, which the woman accepts. While Alec tries to fix the car, the woman asks Nora why Alec hasn't proposed to her yet. Nora, surprised by the question, tells the woman to mind her own business. Annoyed, the woman responds, saying that people like Nora, who have no responsibilities, always seem to get the best opportunities. When Nora reminds the woman that they are helping her, the woman responds by saying that she never asked for their help. After this, Nora urges Alec to leave immediately. They decide not to repair the car and leave the woman there. As they drive away, Nora complains to Alec about how she went out of her way to help someone, to which Alec responds by commenting on Nora's attitude. Nora then mentions that it's people like that woman who make her hesitant to come to these parts. They then decide to stop at a restaurant for a meal. After finishing their burgers, Alec notices a strange person watching them from a distance. However, since they are from out of town, Nora reassures Alec that the person is likely just curious. As they leave the restaurant, the stranger suddenly grabs Nora's hand and warns her that it's not safe there. Alec intervenes, and the stranger lets go of Nora. The two of them then leave the area. While driving, Alec asks Nora if she's okay, to which she replies that it wasn't a big deal. Without further delay, they find a place to refuel. Alec asks the cashier if there's a place nearby where they can stay for the night. The cashier mentions a cabin across the road, so they get back into their car. As they leave, the cashier watches them. Upon arriving at the place, Nora suggests they should check out the cabin before deciding to stay there. However, Alec insists they stay there and avoid unnecessary trouble. Once there, they see several parked cars around the cabin, leading Alec to believe that many others must be staying there too. After entering the cabin, Nora gets an uneasy feeling and tells to Alec that she cannot stay in this place. However, Alec reassures Nora, saying that the place has some food remains, and that it looks like a regular lodging spot. They decide to explore the area, but eventually realize they can't maintain their composure and decide to go upstairs. Suddenly, the owner of the cabin, who has a rather odd appearance, comes to greet them. He apologizes for not hearing them arrive and asks where they are from, to which Alec responds that they are from Los Angeles. The owner then takes them to their cabin, which is located in a more secluded area. He explains that the place is often rented out to scout groups or church groups. Alec, curious, asks how long the owner has been there, and he responds that he's been there since 1996, maintaining the place. He then starts to tell them about his past work before he owned the hotel. Nora, feeling uneasy about the conversation, interrupts him and says they need to rest. The owner, a bit irritated, leaves, closing the door loudly behind him. Alec tells Nora that what she did wasn't right, but Nora replies that she felt disgusted by the owner's appearance. While the two of them are talking, they fail to notice a bloodstain on the bed above them. Later that night, they prepare to go to bed. Unaware of the figure hiding under the bed, they fall asleep. As dawn breaks, the figure emerges from under the bed, revealing itself as a person wearing a creepy mask. Then, the figure quietly approaches the two who are sleeping. Later, Nora wakes up in a cage. She tries to escape, but her efforts are in vain. Next, someone wearing an owl mask approaches and frightens her by banging on her cage. After this, she suddenly tries to break the lock with a rock, but it doesn't work. Next, another person, wearing a bull mask, comes close to Nora and injects a liquid into her, causing her to lose consciousness. When she regains consciousness, she finds herself in a hut, her legs tied and bound to a chair. A woman wearing a rabbit mask, who appears to be a veterinary doctor, then forcefully inserts something between her legs. After investigating, I discovered that this is a common procedure used to milk animals, and they are treating Nora like an animal. Despite her screams, they complete the procedure and leave. This incident leaves Nora weak, and when two masked individuals enter the hut to take her away, she doesn't have the strength to resist. She is then dragged away in a cart by someone wearing a bull mask. As they are led away, Nora sees a large group of people wearing masks, helping one another, and seemingly forming a community. After some time, the cart stops, and they take Nora to a horse stall. As soon as they leave, Nora tries to open the window but fails. The men are kept in cages while the women are left in stalls. We can see that they also brought another girl and locked her up in the attic. Nora tries to ask for help from the others, but they do not respond. It appears that those who give up on the hope of survival are left to die. Then, three masked individuals arrive, placing a collar around someone's neck and striking them with a mace. After that, they continue to harm another person in the same way. Alec, seeing this, is frozen with fear, but then he starts banging on his cage out of panic. The group then approaches his cage. One of them tries to control Alec by placing a collar around his neck. Although Alec tries to fight back, another individual hits him with a mace, knocking him unconscious. They then load Alec and the others into a cart. After handing the cart over to the butcher, a person wearing a pig mask retrieves a bag containing the severed limbs of people. They distribute these bags around their town. As we watch, we can see that once the work is done, they notice a vehicle approaching, and they quickly stash the bags in a room. Next, someone goes to the driver and helps take a newcomer to the horse stall. After that, the person wearing the pig mask goes to meet the landowner. It becomes clear that this person is the leader here. We also see that they need to feed about 80 people, so they ask the pig masked individual if they can provide the food. Even though she didn't respond with words, what she meant was understood by the landowner. After that, the landowner went to the kitchen and ordered the others to prepare the meal in 2.5 hours. Then, the workers made a sign, started cutting up the meat from the killed people, and began making a stew. After taking a call from a customer, the landowner realized that the order would be picked up much sooner than they had expected. Since there wasn't enough meat, the landowner told the pig-masked individual to use the dairy slaves for meat. They mentioned that they had placed tubes in the women kept in another hut to extract milk from them. After the group left, Andrew, the cashier from the gas station, arrived and tried to comfort a crying woman. When she scolded Andrew, he got angry and said that the evil people here were to blame for their own mistake, and he scolded the women. The landowner received another call from a customer who found a hair in their food, which ruined their wedding. The landowner then assured them that they would be compensated. Soon after, someone suddenly arrived with a message for the person wearing the pig mask. When the group went to the horse stall, they saw a woman who had died, with Andrew's name carved into the wood that had pierced her. The leader quickly ordered the others to find Andrew. Meanwhile, Nora met someone who had been imprisoned for 2 years. She explained that these people treated every slave like livestock on a farm. Despite knowing she would die from losing her milk, she accepted it with contentment, saying it was better than being imprisoned here. She also warned Nora that escape was impossible, causing Nora to start panicking. At that moment, she heard another person crying, and Nora learned that the woman named Ashley had been trapped there for 2 weeks. Nora promised her that they would somehow escape together. One of the group members found Andrew, who was playing with pieces of human flesh. The woman accused him of being cruel and began explaining him reasons for wanting freedom, but Andrew was taken to the landowner. The landowner started scolding Andrew for wasting their resources and, as punishment, ordered him to help the others on the farm. Despite working, Andrew was afraid of the consequences after he spilled food, so he fled. As the person wearing the pig mask was searching for Andrew, he ran out of hiding in the greenhouse and into the kitchen, where he handed a plant to the landowner. The landowner was pleased and thanked Andrew. Afterward, the landowner told the pig-masked individual to kill a woman who was unable to produce milk. The group tied up the woman who was close to death and killed her while Nora watched from the side. Horrified by what she saw, Nora was too shocked to process what was happening and collapsed. After the group left, the entire area fell silent. Suddenly, there was a loud noise at the door that frightened Nora. However, it was Alec, who had come to take her away to escape together. Seeing Alec provided great relief to Nora. The two avoided the farms and exited the horse stall. As they were running, they encountered a truck ahead of them. Despite their efforts, they couldn't get it to start. Hearing the sound of the failed attempts, someone wearing a mask approached to see what the noise was about. The couple start running around the vehicle, and as the masked person got within a few feet of them, luckily, a bell rang in the distance. Distracted by the sound, the masked person ran towards it. The couple didn't stop and kept running until they found a church, where they decided to take shelter. Nora thought it might be safe, so Alec led the way inside. Near the altar, Nora found a sharp weapon while Alec noticed the images made from various masks. They realized this was the church of these people. Looking out the window, Alec saw someone wearing a bull mask approaching. As soon as he entered the church, the couple could sense the danger. The person began to sit in front of the altar to pray, and the couple saw this as an opportunity to escape. However, as they tried to leave, the wooden floor creaked, alerting the masked person to their presence. The person rang a bell to alert the others, while Nora and Alec tried to flee as quickly as possible. In the chaos, Alec stepped into a bear trap. Despite Nora's attempts to help, she had to leave him behind when she saw the farm workers approaching. She realized that escaping alone was her only option. As the group arrived, one of them picked up a large rock and smashed it against Alec's head, killing him instantly. Hearing the crushing sound, Nora ran away, crying. Just before Andrew and the landowner arrived, she hid in the men's horse stall. As the group entered the stall and looked around, Nora asked one of the men how to escape. He told her about a bus they used to transport the captured people back to the farm. He also told Nora where the key was located. She thanked him and quickly made her way out of the stall. However, as she tried to escape, Andrew noticed it and started laughing with the owner. While Nora was heading to where the key was hidden, she tried her best to hide from the masked people. Then, she saw a masked person refueling a vehicle and preparing to leave. Later, Nora followed the vehicle, stopped it, and managed to kill the masked person with a wrench. However, seeing another person suddenly approaching, Nora quickly got into the vehicle and tried to escape. Just like in every horror film, the vehicle didn't start at first, but finally, she managed to get it running and escape, smiling as she sped away. But then, the engine stopped again, and she had no choice but to get out of the vehicle and run. With the masked group chasing her, Nora ran into the kitchen and headed to the basement. She found a window and attempted to escape, but as she did, the group tried to grab her. In the end, just as she managed to open the window, one of them grabbed her leg. Nora used the sharp object she took from the church to stab them, allowing her to escape. As she got outside, she saw the bus that the person in the cage had mentioned. It was parked right next to the horse stall where Ashley was waiting. Nora decided to take Ashley with her, but Ashley was too scared to go outside. Eventually, Ashley mustered the courage, and they both got on the bus. Just then, Nora realized she didn't have the key, so they had to go back to the house to get it. Fortunately, Nora found the key, and they ran back to the bus. Once she started the engine, Nora smiled in relief, knowing they were finally free. However, Ashley remained silent, and as Nora looked at her, she realized that all the people from the farm were sitting inside the bus, staring at them. In the next scene, the masked group is gathered around the dining table, with Nora and Ashley served as the meal. An apple is stuffed in their mouths, presenting them as the dinner. And so, this film ends. If you never imagined something like this would happen, leave a comment. Let's share our sorrow together. If you're still in shock, watch this film to fix your mood. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video for more content like this. See you in the next video, and have a great day.